Okay. Whoa. Hello. Oh fuck, I misspelled 12. That's embarrassing. Is there like a load of noise on Anyway, hi everybody. I am doing well. Yeah, so I wasn't right here. Thought I'd start it a few minutes early, give people time. But we should be good to go right on the dot. Okay. Now, before we get into the good stuff, let's have a quick look at this. We've got Here is the actual listing of the tournament itself. So you've got all the challengers here. This guy, Jacoby, Joet, Dino, Platet, Kerper, Child, QQ, Zon, Shadow, Coloru, Baraloo, Ziggy, James, Gustav, Skeleton, Doohoo, The Snake Moves, Eel, Legoman, Harry, Pile, Split, Spider, Blue Coon. If you don't know by now, the way it works is they each have 3 lives. They have to beat each boss in order. I'm pretty sure they only have to beat each boss once. It's not a best of 3 or anything. And I've got to say, this boss lineup, I think it's pretty tough. I'll be impressed if anyone manages to do this. So you've got Pingu, Parzival and Anzu will be the 3 we're doing today. It'll be their games against Pyle, Eel and Ziggy. But there's some really big names. Once you get up to, like, I mean, Pedro's an old player, but he's been away for a while, and I haven't seen Gabeney play in ages. But once you get to boss 6, like, that's terrifying. Me, Jet, Cold, Weasel, Srownal, Chip, and then Mishi. Like, this is gonna be, like, hard mode there. That's a tough gauntlet. There's also been a prediction contest, which there are some prizes for, actually, if I just get those up. Okay, so first place for the prediction contest gets a €5 Steam gift card. Second place gets 300 points. Third place gets 100 points. And if you beat any of the notable participants... Hello, gentlemen. You gave me the wrong link. Okay. Oh, this is better. Okay. So, here's the prediction list. If you beat Gentleman's in blue, Gabeney's in green, and Camel's in red, they're the notable participants. If you get a better prediction than any of them, you're gonna win 30 points at least. So quite a lot to go for. I can't tell at a glance like what the predictions really say. I can see a lot of Pingu. I can see Tosh a few times. A lot of Jets. A lot of Srownals. But anyway, I think I've stalled long enough now. Read DM. I did read the DM. Alright. So, let's go for it. Eel versus Pingu. Uh-oh. Now, I should probably have done this first. What's the actual prediction for this? Eel. Anyone predicting Pingu beats Eel? No. Eel is predicted to at least beat Parzival. To at least get to Parzival, so. But Pingu, on the last 12 duels, which was the 21 duels, actually ended up killing 3 people. He's not to be underestimated. So, what are we looking at here? We got Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Chameleon, Boar, and Mine coming from Eel. Against Squirrel, Pigeon, Ferret, Falcon, Boar, and Machine Gun Turret. So both players rocking the Boar Falcon. Pingu with the Ferrets, I'm guessing he wants to leave himself open to some sort of poke strategy. Ferrets can work with Boar, because if you get both out, then Boar's really hard to engage into, but the best way to deal with a Ferret is to engage into it, so it's kind of a bit of a rock and a hard place. I think all of us are really hoping that Pingu, you know, starts off the boss rush well by putting down some revolutionaries. Now he's going for a pretty standard opening with double squirrel, but he is placing them so far forward. Could mean that he's looking to rush. Admittedly, it could just be because there's very little room back here. Because this map isn't great for rushing, but they are quite aggressively placed. Eel, however, is going straight for a chameleon warren. Now, 8 farm chameleon is a thing. It's not bad because it counters most tier 1. Like if you have something like 6 squirrels, a chameleon can probably take that, or at least trade fairly well with it. A chameleon really only needs to get 3 or 4 squirrels before it's even. Only falcon to counter falcon. Yeah, Pingu. Well, Pingu also has squirrels to counter falcon, and the machine gun turrets. Falcons seem to struggle with machine gun turrets slightly. It's pretty. I see them. If you try and poke with falcons, they kind of get shot down very quickly by turrets. Turrets not great at the moment, but they are pretty cost effective. They just don't really scale into the late game very well. Alright, now Pingu's trying to come in here with his ferret and get some poke damage. I don't think he knows about the chameleons. He might expect it. He has seen a tier 2 warren, and he sees no tier 2. He's probably gonna assume, he should figure out that that means chameleons. Now, Pingu's expanding and going to farm, so that's 180 food he's going to be behind an army. That puts, oh, this is awkward. I thought he was going to keep on walking his ferrets up. He really needs to be careful. If these ferrets get caught out by the chameleons, like this, what was Pingu doing there? Why didn't he micro those ferrets back? He just needed to hold down the button. Early mistake from Pingu. Now it is 60 food, but that's 60 food when Pingu's already behind in army. And another thing to think about is ferrets aren't good in a straight up fight. Against Eel's loadout of chameleons and falcons, he'll have a pretty solid time just moving in. Pingu is getting out more squirrels though, and it looks like Eel doesn't want to move in. He sold down some tier 1 to get his boar building, so it feels like he's going to wait. And now Eel has expanded as well. I didn't notice when he did that. I didn't notice when Eel took this base, but he has now, and he's actually getting ahead on farms from Pingu, so he's going to catch up. Now Eel's got it. This second base is pretty safe. There's a way through the water, but there's a mine here to like scout that out, and it's going to be pretty slow anyway. Basically, Pingu needs to push through the main base to get to it. But after this base, if the game goes to a third base game, Pingu's going to have a much easier time taking one of these 2 bases than Eel is going to have taking one of these 2 bases. This base is right next to the high ground, and with ferrets, I don't think it's feasible. Same thing with this, ferrets are just going to poke it out. Okay, so Pingu's moving in. He's caught the army out guard. Most of the lizards are running by. That's a lot of falcons that are going down. And the chameleons, but now all the squirrels are going down. Pingu actually took that fight relatively well, but it started to fall apart once Eel managed to get his army together. It would have been better for Pingu to retreat after he got the early value. Ferrets are not great in an open fight. Now, both players have got their boar. Well, Eel is about to have his boar. Pingu's already got his. Okay, so this is why the army got caught out. Eel was trying to get his falcons over here. I'm not sure why, unless he wants to do some flyby over here. But that seems like it's going to expose him far too much. And he'd really only get like he'll only get a few farms. Now Pingu just needs to push in. Pingu should just push now. Okay, so these falcons are going to get a couple of pigs and a tier 1 warren. That's not a huge deal, and now that's 4 falcons that are away. That's quite a bit of army. But can Pingu capitalise on it? There is a mine here he needs to be careful of. That boar's going round very quickly for Eel. And Pingu still has his boar at half health, but he has nothing to shoot the falcons with. Oh, if Pingu had been able to retreat that boar, he would have been in a good spot, but he had so little anti-air. I think he really needs to sell the ferrets. The ferrets aren't doing anything for him. It looks like he wants to keep going with them. I think the ferrets are a mistake. Ferrets can work. They're a bit on the weaker side, or at least on the situational side. But against this many falcons especially, they're particularly bad. And against the chameleons who can just walk right up to them and then stealth by the time the shot actually lands. Pingu is really far behind now. Eel got some huge damage done. He'd already taken the 2 farms here that were going to fallow out. And now he's taken another 2 farms here. Pingu is looking a bit ropey. Whereas Eel has this base fully saturated. Pingu never got this base fully farmed up. Even to begin with. So even if he hadn't lost farms, he'd be behind. And Pingu's trying to focus fire the chameleons, but he's only got 2 falcons, and 2 falcons can't beat 4. Can't beat 6. He did have the pigeons, the squirrels to try and counter the falcons, but obviously they're all going to die to the boar, so it didn't work. I really think selling the ferrets for more falcons would have been a better call, but easy to say in hindsight. But Eel takes game 1. So Eel goes over Pingu, he takes down boss 1, he moves on to boss 2. Now do we want to do this by boss or by... I think we should do it by boss. So let's see how Pingu fares against Mr. Ziggy. See if Pingu can put down a revolutionary. Oh, and Moose Misen, thank you for the follow. Someone else followed last night while I was off, and thank you to whoever that was. I don't know who it was though, because it did not save it on the activity feed. Camel gives Mr. Ziggy a 77.6% chance of passing through Pingu. Good to know. Alright, now Pingu's going for the same deck. Squirrel, pigeon, ferret, falcon, boar, machine guns. He never used the machine guns last round. They might have been helpful, but I doubt it. Against the chameleons and the boar, there's so much health to chew through and so much damage coming out that I think the machine guns would have gone down really quickly. Mr. Ziggy is going for quite a different loadout. Squirrel, pigeon, falcon, chameleon, snake, mine. So no tier 3 and 3 tier 2s. That's it's not a bad deck. I've run similar decks to this recently and it works out fairly well. Lizards give it a hard time, but Pingu doesn't have lizards, so that's not a problem. And even if he did, Mr. Ziggy does have answers. But you don't really need a tier... Oh, Blitzwriter, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you very much. 79. Shit. Nearly got to the next 10. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, you don't really need a tier 3 if you have enough tier 2. Like the snakes, the falcons and chameleons, especially the falcons and chameleons, scale really well together. You can just keep on just keep on getting them. And now it does it puts you at a slight disadvantage if your army does die, because it takes longer to rebuild and it's more expensive. But if you just get enough pigeons, you should have a fairly easy time keeping them alive, at least relatively, and they'll get huge amounts of value out, especially against a boar. A boar is really bad at fighting tier 2. It likes fighting tier 1, and buildings. It can't do anything to the falcons. It can't do much against the chameleons, and the snakes just sort of taunt it. Now, both players are expanding. Mr. Ziggy slightly faster. Looking at the base, it's definitely better for Mr. Ziggy. He's got a nice safe base here, as well as a pretty safe base here, just a bit forward. Even this base isn't too dangerous. But Mr. Ziggy, after he's taken this base, he's going to have a really hard time getting to a third. I think this is probably his best bet. But Ziggy... Oh, wait, hang on, never mind. I got the colours mixed up. So everything I said about Pingu's base, I should have said about Ziggy, and everything I said about Ziggy, I should have said about Pingu. Pingu has a really safe base. He can play really defensive with this, which looks like it's what he wants to do, building that turret and getting the early boar. Hang on, I'll talk about the map later. No engagement. Okay, I'll keep talking about the map. Are we going to see an engagement? Ziggy has scouted the boar. Yeah, he has scouted the tier 3. He knows he's got a limited amount of time to get some work done. I said the boar wouldn't do well against this loadout. Oh, and the commander goes down. That's a big blow. Especially with these warrens right here. Because now the warrens are going to get full tanking. And Pingu's able to take this nice and safely. He's only lost one warren. He lost some tier 1, but no tier 2s. He's ahead on economy. His boar's about to come out. This is looking really rough for Ziggy. Because if Ziggy loses all these squirrels, then Pingu's tier 1 is going to completely obliterate the falcons and snakes. Ziggy doesn't even have his army all together. And here comes the boar. The snake goes down immediately. All the squirrels are down. The falcons quickly follow. Now there's one chameleon and one pigeon running away. But this game looks like it's really in Pingu's favour at the moment. I don't know what Mr. Ziggy does against this. He's got counters to the boar, but he's just so far behind. He's already behind on economy. He's been behind on economy nearly the whole game at this point. And he's got a very expensive deck. With 3 tier 2s, he needs a lot of food. And he's only got 3 farms. Now he is defending. Pingu is a bit scared to come in, but Pingu doesn't really need to come in. He can just wait. He can just wait until he feels comfortable. He's even picking off other snakes. The second snake goes down, it's right at the front. Goes down for Ziggy. And now this boar is getting a lot of work done. Just in a simple tanking. Now that said, Pingu nearly loses all his falcons, but the boar's perfectly healthy, and that can just solo this mill. And that's going to be... Pingu takes 1 life off Mr. Ziggy. Actually, let's have a quick look at the predictions. Does anyone predict Ziggy to die to Pingu? We've got QQ predicts that Ziggy will die to Pingu. We've got Pyle predicts Ziggy will die to Pingu. And no one else. Camel predicts Anzu. Gentleman predicts Parzival. So we're mainly seeing 3 and 4s. With a couple of 7 and 6s sprinkled in. There are 2 people though who think that Pingu will take this game. Will take this life. Let's see. Why Ziggy no have tier 3? Well, you don't need tier 3 if you've got enough tier 2. Most people go for boar these days as their tier 3. I mean, think about the popular tier 3s. You've got badger and you've got boar. Falcons, chameleons and snakes can counter both of those. So, the other thing you've got is wolf. A wolf would do alright against Mr. Ziggy, but it's kind of a fair fight still. If you just put all that food you would have put into a tier 3, that's going to be like 2 tier 2 Warrens extra. What is it? It's 360, so it's like 1 tier 2 Warren, 2 tier 2 units, and then another tier 2 Warren, which will start building. So pretty good, I think. I think it's perfectly fine to take no tier 3 in this meta, especially when the tier 2 is so powerful. Almost forces you to bring a tier 3. I've won plenty of games without taking a tier 3, and I always take tier 3. Like, just a sheer mass of tier 2 is perfectly fine. Now, Pingu's sticking with the same loadout. Ziggy hasn't changed either. Both players just want to run straight back. Ziggy's base is looking pretty rough. He's on the low ground and surrounded by 3 campfires. Now the campfires are nice to have, but they're not a farm, they're not a base. This is his mill, and it's going to put him very close to Pingu, who's going to have the high ground advantage. So not looking too good for Ziggy. Although the high ground advantage shouldn't matter too much if Ziggy's got pigeons. It's more the fact that the ferrets are going to have such easy vision that's going to be a real problem for Ziggy. Because I think the ferrets might actually be able to hit this mill while standing on this bank. But it basically comes down to the fact that Ziggy's got a much harder time to expand than Pingu does. And speaking of expansions, Pingu's not only got his expansion out earlier, he's got more army out. So Ziggy can't compete at the moment. Maybe when he gets these tier 2 out, he will be able to. Chameleons and snakes should be decent against this army, if not spectacular. Chameleons, if they get hit by the ferrets, it's one of the few ways you can quickly get rid of a chameleon, is ferret shots, but the ferrets do have to hit. Now, here is where the harass really becomes a problem. Ziggy has no time to wait, he has to go in. And Pingu's just taking that campfire just to tank a bit of damage, but Ziggy actually does manage to force Pingu to retreat. The ferret's not getting the shots off they needed. Ferret's never that good in a straight fight, and Chameleon's very good in a straight fight. But Mr. Ziggy is supply blocked on his tier 2. He should sell one of his tier 2. He should sell either his falcons or his snakes. He's hoping he'll get them out, but it's going to take a lot of extra time. And if it takes more than the 20 seconds it takes to build the Warren back up, you're not actually saving any time by leaving yourself supply blocked. But he has got a snake out, he's got more building. I think he should really retreat. He's ferret dancing, but he's using his old arm to do it, which is not generally the way. But he comes straight in, he's actually just going straight for the mill, and he might actually get it. But I think that's going to leave him so open to counterattack. He's lost both his snakes, he's lost both his chameleons. He's only got a falcon at the moment. Pingu, in the background, has put down a boar warren and is now getting out a boar. Now, I think Mr. Ziggy is in a better spot to deal with a boar this time around, but you'd really want more. You'd really want to see like 4 snakes. You'd want to see a second tier 2 any warren coming out from Mr. Ziggy. But this fight is going down really well. The tier 2s complement each other quite nicely. The chameleon tanking on the front for the quick DPS of the falcon, as well as the slow burn from the snake, is quite a powerful combo. And with pigeons to keep him alive, you just retain that value. I think this combination of tier 2 units is really powerful. And it gets the gristmill again. Pingu is having a hard time expanding, and now the boar comes out, but I don't think the boar's going to be able to do this. It's already got 3 poison stacks, it's already on half health. Oh, now, luckily it is able to get out, and Pingu has got pigeons, so he will be able to heal. But farms are starting to fallow out now. So Mr. Ziggy having this expansion is turning out to be a really big deal. The boar's coming in. Mr. Ziggy needs to get this tier 2 together. He's supply blocked again and he's not selling. He really needs to be selling his Warrens. I think this might cost Ziggy the game. It does. The fact that Mr. Ziggy wasn't able to get his army up ended up costing him the game. I really think he could have had that. If he had sold the Falcon Warrens and been able to just stack a load of poison tags on the boar, I think he would have had it. That was Ziggy's last hurrah there. Let's see if he's already lost 2 lives. Let's see if Pingu can take a third. Alright, so no loadout changes from either player. Mr. Ziggy, okay, if Mr. Ziggy is ever going to do it, this is a time, because look at this base. 3 close mills, all on the high ground, where Pingu is completely isolated. He's got this mill, sure, but it's surrounded by water. It's going to be really hard to defend, and it's very close to Ziggy. Once Ziggy takes one of these bases for his expansions, it's going to be right pressing up against his borders. Pingu does have a campfire, and he's got the double high ground, but eventually he's going to have to move off it. Okay, so if Ziggy's ever going to get it done, this is the time, this is the place. Right. Now, Pingu, he doesn't have a huge amount of bases, but it's unlikely that all of these bases are going to get taken. It's more likely that most games end on the second base. And Pingu should be able to get up enough economy to get what he wants done. He should be able to get out the boar with a decent supply of squirrels and pigeons and a couple of tier 2. But it is still hard for him. He's probably going to have to one base it. I think he has to one base it from this point. And I think he agrees with me, because he's selling his tier 2 Warrens and looking for a place to put his boar down. Now, can he hide this? Can he kill the commander? Oh, Ziggy runs the wrong way. If Pingu can get this boar out, that's a big deal. But I think it's the right call to try and one base play this. Ziggy is actually going to have a tricky time scouting, because he's got to run past this mill, which means he's going to take extra damage. And there's only one real way in, but he does manage to just about get in. He doesn't get out for free. It's going to be an extra 10 seconds before he can respond to the boar, and that might be enough time. That's actually pretty significant when you're dealing with tier 3, because they need to be responded to fast. Ziggy should also be selling these mines, really. He knows now that he's on the offensive. He can't afford to sit back. The boar Warren is built. Now we're just waiting for Pingu to get enough food together to pay for the boar. The boar is paid for. So 50 seconds from now, Ziggy has to win the game in the next 50 seconds. He's floating a lot of food. He hasn't put down any tier 2 Warrens. Now, it takes a full minute it takes 20 seconds for the tier 2 for the Warren, 20 seconds for the first tier 2 unit, and then another 20 for the second. So it's going to take a full minute to get all of this value from the tier 2 Warrens. And by that point, the boar's going to be well on its way. It's going to be done, and it's going to be coming over. I think Pingu might actually win this. Mr. Ziggy is all squirrels at the moment, and he hasn't been able to find a way in. And he's still attacking. I don't know what he's trying to do here. But now he's just got to retreat, and retreating from squirrels is a pain. Retreating in general in this game is a pain. You lose a lot of units on retreats. But now he's moving back in, but he's leading with his squirrels, which means they just get roasted. The comedian comes in, but between the squirrels and the falcon, it gets blasted down. If he can take out all the squirrels and the falcon, then he can clear this up. Oh, is the ball going to walk into the mines? Nope. The mines get like a squirrel. So, the mines turn out to be useless. And now, all of these buildings are just going to get roasted. And Pingu takes the game quite comfortably. GG. That's the first casualty. Pingu takes one. So well done to, who was it? It was QQ and Pyle, I think, who predicted that. Yep, QQ and Pyle. I was predicting that he'd get to round 3. So was the Camelbot. Alright. Now, Pyle versus Pingu. Now, Pyle, everybody knows Pyle. He's creator of the infamous Pyle build. Been gone a while, but he's making his way back in, and he's still got some moves. He's one of the more dangerous competitors in the 12 Duels. He's one of the more dangerous revolutionaries. I basically predicted my predictions semi-randomly. Like, I didn't try and overthink it, I just went with gut feeling. But Pyle, I predict Pyle to go pretty far. But looking at the map, it's definitely in Pingu's favour. This double high ground surrounded by mills is pretty nice, as well as the fact that it's got all this water to protect it. Oh my god, I can't believe I've only just looked at the loadouts. Pingu's using the same loadout we've seen him use before, but Pyle is actually using the Pyle build. Lizards and all defensive structures. Now, there's a few variations on the Pyle build. The one I know of usually has an owl in it instead of one of the defenses, but on a map like this, it's going to be very hard for Pyle to do what he wants to do. The way this works is Pyle wants to like be really aggressive, get a lot of mills, and just block off the map, which is what he's trying to do here. But he's going to have to defend this with lizards, and that's going to be tough, especially while he's 60 food down. As soon as Pingu gets up all these squirrels, he's going to have a pretty easy time walking in. Unless these turrets go up. Okay, Pingu's coming in, but he's coming too early. He came in before he had a full advantage on squirrels. He wanted to get in before the machine guns. Although, you'd think he'd be able to just move onto this ridge and shoot them from the high ground. But now, Pyle actually has a chance. Pyle has managed to secure himself a good position on this really bad map. And it's not like Pingu can go for a base trade or anything. Pingu can just expand backwards, so he's going to have 1 or 2 mills. And this water is going to make it a bit difficult for the lizards to do all their running around. But this isn't bad for Pingu, for Pyle. This is really good for Pyle. Now, what's not so good for Pyle are these ferrets. These ferrets can stand up here nice and safe and just shoot down these turrets. But it can't shoot down the balloon, and that balloon is coming up first. And Pyle is just going to use this space to keep on pushing up his defences. Oh, that machine gun just about goes up for Pingu. This is looking rough for Pingu. He's got good siege units in the ferrets and the boar, but... okay, he can hit these machine guns from out of range of the balloon. But now Pyle knows about the ferrets. It's going to take a bit of time for this balloon to go up though. So he's trying to stall with the mines, just putting them down so the ferret targets them and then selling them before the shot connects. Pingu probably needs to be focus firing, but he runs the risk of losing his commander. Okay, with two balloons, Pyle's in a safer position. But he does need to do something about these squirrels, because the squirrels can take care of the balloons pretty easily. And he does take care of the squirrels. Almost all the squirrels go down, as well as one of the ferrets. Now, Pingu is slightly ahead on economy, because Pyle never took this 8th farm. Oh, Pingu's commander goes down. I don't think that's going to be too influential at the moment, but it is going to be something that's sort of more influential as the match goes on. It's going to be harder. It's going to be hard for Pingu to do his proper scouts and stuff. He's got to very carefully babysit this mill and this army. But he does have more squirrels at the moment, and the reinforcements for the lizards are very slow. Pyle went up on a couple of farms, and he's now supply blocked on lizards. He's got 3 lizard warrens over here. That's actually the majority of his lizard warrens. Pyle could be about to lose this here. He needs to hold, and the lizards are coming out just fast enough. He's lost his defenses though, which is a major blow. No, Pingu does push through. These ferrets forcing the cells on the machine guns, and then the squirrels being able to take care of the balloons. Pyle never went below an army there until the actual fight. So it's a bit confusing how he managed to lose, but it's going to be very hard for him to make a comeback here. He's already lost a farm, and Pingu manages to take a game. Now that was a bad map from Pyle, but he responded to it so well that I'm still pretty impressed that Pingu was able to push out. Could we see Pingu beat Pyle? In fact, I should check. Does anyone predict he's going to beat Pyle? A lot of people are predicting Pyle goes all the way. Oh, one person, Jet Erickson, predicts Pyle will lose to Pingu. Will it happen? This is that was a great comeback from... It feels weird calling that a comeback, but it kind of was. Pyle was really boxing in Pingu. And Pyle adjusts by swapping out barbed wire for ferrets. Odd choice. I guess it's so he can sort of counter ferrets with his own ferrets. And this is a much better map for Pyle. Pyle can take this mill and set up a good defensive line over this water. Really stop. And if he gets it right, he can just take 1, 2, 3, 4 mills for himself. Possibly even 5. Or at the very least, stop Pingu from taking them. Man, I just want to give both players props for that last game. Like, taking the really aggressive mill from Pyle was a great call. Really ballsy and really difficult to hold on to, but he made it work. And then once it was established, it was really hard for Pingu to break out, even with the ferrets, but again, he managed it. I'm still not quite sure how he managed to win that fight. I think the lizards having such slow reinforcements due to the water was a big part of it, as well as the high ground. The lizards having to like run round both sides of the cliff messing up their AI. What did you miss, Lore Friendly? You missed Pingu taking a game off Pyle. Pyle's down to 2 lives. We could see the return of Super Pingu. Now, does Pingu scout out these mines? No, he has not. And he's getting out his tier 2. Pyle's already got his tier 2. Lizards and ferrets do pretty well together. Lizards are good at chasing down retreating units. Ferrets are good at sort of making your opponent either engage or retreat. And lizards struggle with defensive structures and structures in general, so they really find it hard to attack over warrens. So having a few ferrets that can take care of the warrens before the engagement actually starts really helps out the lizards. Both units sort of fill in for each other's weaknesses, and we see the beginning of Pyle's. I guess we saw the beginning of the defensive wall a while ago with the mines, but the balloon is like the first real defensive structure gets put down. And Pyle comes in while Pingu's away. He loses some lizards. He might have been a bit overzealous there, because now he doesn't have much army, and he's going to lose a ferret. Oh no, the mines just about slow it down. And this balloon manages to just shoot a falcon so the lizards can take it out super easily. Those mines did some good work, and so did the balloon. That's actually huge. Now Pingu is in a really tough spot. He lost a lot of army there. He didn't need to push so hard. I understand why he did. He thought he had the win, but Pingu was reinforcing. And it's not like Pingu had like a much superior army. But not scouting those mines is a fairly big deal. Now, can he kill all the lizards? He's doing the right thing focusing the lizards, because now the tier 2 is nice and vulnerable. The ferrets can't do anything against the falcons, so as long as Pingu can take care of the lizards, he should be fine. And that fight has sort of evened things up a bit. It was Pyle's turn to take a big loss there. Now, this is what Pingu has to worry about. He has to worry about these quick lizard run rounds. This is a good map for lizards, a lot of open space. Pingu only has turrets really to stop lizard run rounds, and they're gonna suffer against ferrets. And hang on, Pingu's coming in. He's got the balloon, he's got most of the lizards. This falcon's on 1 health, but he still has a load of squirrels. He's got both the ferrets. He's attacking the mill. He decides to go for the pig instead. Is he going to go for the mill? Pyle's trying to mass up enough lizards. It looks like he's going to get the mill. Yeah, Pingu prioritizes getting the mill, which I understand. He does lose his falcon, but the falcon was at such low HP anyway. I think it's fair enough. And now the game's gone back to even, except Pingu has a base and Pyle doesn't. Now Pyle's going to take this campfire to even out the economy, but that's only going to last a while, and that's only one farm, whereas Pingu can take as many as he wants. Oh, and Pingu's going to catch out some lizards. That's a big deal on when economies are this low. And now, oh, the lizards are walking through the water. Oh my god, is Pingu going to get this? I think Pingu's actually going to get this. He's got so many more, and Pyle just surrenders. Pingu's taken 2 games against Pyle. Pingu with the comebacks. I keep thinking he's out, and then he just proves me wrong. Is Pyle going to stick with the Pyle build? What's going to happen? Holy shit, I'm up to 82 followers. Uncle Pingu, the gentleman, and Mr. Ziggy, thank you for the follow. And thank you, Pingu, for the fucking hilarious games. Oh my god, is Pyle going to die to Pingu? If Pyle dies on the first boss, that is going to be an ominous sign of things to come. It makes me very glad I'm on the boss side of this boss rush. Okay, Jay is going to be very happy if this happens. Even happier than us. Okay, so Pyle swaps out his build now. He ditches the lizards and the structures, goes for squirrel, pigeon, mole, falcon, chameleon, mine. No tier 3, interestingly. So it's still a pretty aggressive build. He's going to want to have it done by sort of mid-game, I imagine. And Pyle is actually in a bit of trouble here. With this high ground, ferrets on this high ground, or even just squirrel. I don't think squirrels could shoot the pigs from here, but ferrets on this high ground is going to be big if Pingu can get them up. Because Pyle has no way back up there. He has to go all the way around. This is actually really bad for Pyle. Pyle can build falcons to try and like, or pigeons to get high ground vision off, but he'll have to be standing in the water to shoot up. And with no balloon, this would be the map for balloons. You put a balloon here, you can not only scout Pingu coming, but you've got the high ground vision and you can keep the ferrets at bay. Now, other than let's ignore the high ground. Pyle has a base here, although that's also kind of in the range of the high ground. A base here that's also in the range of the high ground. I just said let's ignore the high ground, but the more I try, the harder it becomes. Like, all of these bases are made very vulnerable by this massive cliff. Pyle going for the fast falcons. I think he knows he needs some high ground vision. I think that's the right call. Whereas Pingu also making the right call by going for fast ferrets. He wants to be harassing this as fast as he can. And he's bringing his ferret right over as soon as he can. Now, Pingu is slightly ahead in army. Oh, the ferret doesn't have vision. Oh, Pyle is saved. The commander needs to stay here to give vision, which means Pyle is able to just move in. But he is losing farms while this is happening. Pingu, you need to go back. Pingu, don't throw, don't throw. You know he wants to do this, Pingu. You know he wants to. Okay. Oh, tier 2 Warren goes down for Pingu. Having those falcons will be a big help at the moment. I think sparing squirrels is a good call. He did get one farm. That's not insignificant. Well, it's a little insignificant until he actually starts to fallow. Okay, another engagement comes in. One falcon goes down. The second falcon goes down. The mole warren goes down before any moles could be built. Now it's just these ferrets themselves, but the reinforcements for Pingu have a lot less far to travel than the reinforcements for Pyle. And Pyle is supply blocked on his tier 2. This could happen. We could be looking at a 3-0 for Pingu here. Pingu is ahead in army and in income. Now, this high ground ended up only mattering for one farm, but I think Pyle would really like to have that extra farm at this point. So Pingu's going to try and come in, you know, sort of through the front door. He is going to get a couple of warrens. He needs to not over push this. He is ahead, but I think he just picks off as many warrens as he can. He'll be a good spot. He's taking his campfire. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe just so he can set up like a forward expansion, like an outpost. Okay, fight coming in. He needs to focus the falcons. Focus the falcon with your squirrels. He gets one. Is he going to get the second? He's not, but he is getting a lot of warren damage done. Oh, this squirrel warren barely survives. But Pyle is in a bad way, and Pingu even manages to sell the campfire. Now, I think going back and putting 3 farms down is maybe a little bit greedy, but actually no, he's getting away for it. Pyle needs to... Pyle's also fallowed out. So that farm is definitely mattering a lot now. Pyle is keep on pushing, but he's got no army, and I think this is it. Oh my god. Pyle loses to the first boss. Pingu takes it. Jet Eriksson is spunking his pants in happiness right now because he is the only one to call that Pingu would beat Pyle. Oh my god. What is it about Pingu? Why is he so good at fighting, at putting down revolutionaries? Thank you for the follow, Biohazard. Oh my god. That, I mean, I didn't predict that. Where was it I predicted Pyle would go out? I predicted Pyle would get to Srownal. I predicted he'd get all the way to boss 10. But nope, boss number 1. Phew. You know, when we watched the first game where Eel beat Pingu, I thought, okay, the miracle isn't going to happen. We're not going to see Super Pingu. But, turns out, We are. I can't believe Pyle's dead. Now, he's not out of it completely. He's got a chance to go through the underworld. It's where all the dead revolutionaries fight each other. And the winner of the underworld gets to come back at... What is it? Is it boss 11? Boss 12? Yeah, to fight boss 11. So Pyle's not out of it yet, but... That's a pretty hefty loss. Alright. Let's move on. Eel to the only person who managed to get to boss 2. Illuminatus against Parzival. Parzival's at a much easier time now. There are two bosses he doesn't have to fight. Eel has a 74.4% chance to get past Parzival. Right. How much chance was it for Pyle to beat? It was something like a 77% chance for Pyle to get through Pingu, wasn't it? Can I find it? No, it's too high up in the chat. Pyle was trying the Underworld Rush strat. It was a 99.62% chance for Pyle to get past Pingu. Wow. That's beating the odds there. Alright, let's talk about this game. Let's talk about Parzival. Give him some attention. Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Chameleon, Snake, Boar. Another triple tier 2 deck, although with a tier 3 this time. And Eel is also running triple tier 2. Squirrel, Falcon, Chameleon, Snake, Wolf, Balloon. Now the Balloon's an interesting choice there, as well as the fact that he's got no pigeons. When you've got 3 tier 2s, he's got a lot of high value units in his army. You'd think he'd want pigeons to keep him alive. But he's decided against it. Now, the Wolf with those 3 tier 2s will be insane. Wolf loves buffing tier 2 units. Wolf Snake, Wolf Falcons and Wolf Chameleons are all really dangerous. The Balloon's an interesting choice. I'm not sure what the logic is there, because if you're really worried about sort of early game pushes, I guess it's to stop ferrets. I don't know why he'd take Balloons instead of any other defensive structure. But maybe he's got a plan that I just can't think of. Okay, looking at the map, it's definitely in Parzival's favour. This base is very safe for him on the double high ground. And he's got bases back here he can take pretty safely. Eel, now that this base is taken, he can't take this base at all. Not without destroying this base. And this base is also pretty dangerous. It's a lot safer, especially with his balloons. So maybe he was predicting I'll have a really bad map where putting a balloon on the edge of my territory will give me a lot of space to maneuver. So the balloons might come in handy. But Eel might just try and one-base it. I don't think one-basing is a really good idea though when you've got this much stuff in your deck that's so expensive. And if he was, he should be putting down a wolf really soon. Now he does have the campfire, that is something. And he might even be able to take a second campfire. So he's even on economy at the moment. And it looks like the wolf is about to go down. Now, is Parzival going to scout it? He hasn't. I don't think Parzival would expect a wolf either from this amount of army. Especially because he knows chameleons are in the deck, so... Oh, speaking of chameleons... No, I thought Eel was trying to bring his chameleons in, and then he would die, and then his chameleons would be left just here, fighting the entire army by themselves. But that's not what happened. Alright, balloon coming out from Eel. Parzival's going for more falcons. A lot of squirrels coming out for Eel, actually. Considering he's got so much tier 2, I wasn't expecting this many pigeons. This many squirrels, sorry. Oh, hello, Eel. Nice to see you. Well done on beating the, on surviving the mighty Pingu. That's one scary penguin. Right, now, Parzival has also got his tier 3. And Parzival did at some point scout the wolf. So he's going to try and come in. Oh, but his commander gets obliterated. And against this balloon, that's not what you want. So his army goes bye-bye. Look at the drop in that army graph. And Eel isn't even going to wait for the wolf. He's just moving in. And I don't blame him. He can get this mill. His wolf's going to have a much easier time. And that gives Parzival, that gives Eel a lot more territory to play around with. Ooh, and yeah, the tier 3 doesn't even factor into it. I think Eel just wins from here. His squirrels are all very low HP, but there's just so many of them. And he's getting some Warren damage done. Parzival supply blocked on the wolf, so he goes back and sell it. But even if he fully builds up his army again, he's got so much less than Eel. And Parzival just taps out. I guess he saw the wolf and said, nope, I'm out. No, my squirrel is definitely distinguishing. I think that's right. Very distinguished. Oh, Parzival. I don't know why Parzival went in there. I don't know why he didn't just wait for the boar. I know he wanted to get... If he was going to go in before the wolf got built up, he shouldn't have wasted money on the boar. He should have just gone in with whatever he can muster up. But once he put the board down, I think he really should have waited for it. Well, either way, we can't change the path now, so... yeah, Eel takes it. I'm not really sure... Do we have any of the Underworld games for Ziggy and Pyle? Yeah, the commander going down definitely made that attack really bad. No Underworld. So I'm guessing these are just like fake games. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at Eel versus Anzu. This is now the Eel stream. How far can he go? Underworld won't start before next week. Okay, that's fair enough. Keep spoilers to a minimum that way. Alright, Anzu. Now, where were people predicting Eel would go down? There are some people predicting that Eel will lose here. Moose, Sraunel, Eris. There's quite a few people predicting that Eel will lose here. I was actually predicting that he'd lose to Parzival. I didn't even realise that. But he's shown me. For anyone who's wondering, the score at the moment in the prediction contest is QQ and Pyle are joint first with 60 points each, and everyone else has nothing. Alright. So, basically everyone who thought... If everyone who thinks you get past Anzu thinks he'll get to like 6 or 7. Right, now, let's see, Eel's changed up his deck. Squirrel, oh, hang on, there's a rush coming in. Anzu was slow on getting his squirrels up. And I was slow on realising it. Now, the commander does go down for Eel, but he still gets a farm. He's a bit open to counter-attack, though. If Anzu just gets up a decent squirrel count, if Anzu gets up to 9 squirrels, he could just move in, especially since Eel is going for skunks. But yeah, that was an odd push there. A bit of 8 farm aggression is pretty rare, but hey, if it works, it works. And Anzu has missed his opportunity to counterattack, so he's just going to go for ferrets. I haven't talked about the loadouts at all. Squirrel, skunk, snake, owl, mine, balloon from eel against squirrel, pigeon, ferret, skunk, fox, machine gun from Anzu. Now, I think eel definitely has the advantage here. A fox is going to struggle against a lot of stuff in eel's deck. Against the owl, the mines, the balloon, the fox is basically useless. Ditto for the ferrets. So he's really down to skunk, squirrel, pigeon. Now that's if eel can get out these defences and this owl. He's taken a really aggressive base. Is Anzu going to scout this? He does. Now is he going to push in? He is. I think he's right. If eel gets his base set up, it's too dangerous. But that's really sort of like a distraction, because eel has got this base up in the back. But we'll talk about that after. One skunk goes down, but all of these squirrels are standing in the skunk gas, and Anzu really needs his squirrels. The ferrets can't really deal with squirrels very well. Now, eel did lose a tier 1, and Anzu kept both his tier... Sorry, Anzu lost... Eel kept... Sorry, I fucked up every part of that sentence. Eel lost one tier 2 unit, whereas Anzu kept both his tier 2 alive. So, Anzu, despite losing more tier 1, is actually in the lead army-wise. And he can now get some poking done from this high ground. And he's got enough pigeons to to blunt the effectiveness of the skunk gas pretty significantly. But he hasn't been able to scout this owl warren that's building in the back. Now that does mean eel will be a bit behind in army for a while, but with this balloon backing him up against the ferrets, and ferrets with this slow ferret poke strategy coming out from Anzu, I think he's definitely going to get it out. And once it does come out, Anzu doesn't have a great answer. It is supply blocked. It's going to take an extra few seconds, but he sells a warren, and honestly that was a good call. He wants that owl out as quickly as possible, and this warren was probably going to go down to ferrets anyway, so just sell it. Okay, eel's coming in, and this is a good spot for skunks to fight. There's a very tiny choke point here. It's going to be filled with skunk gas, units going to be clumped up, fighting for tiles. Now, Anzu probably thinks he's in the lead, and at the moment he is. But when this owl comes out, and it's about to come out, I don't think he can handle it. Now, he might be able to, because there is only one owl. One owl isn't that big a deal. And well, actually, I was going to say he's ahead on farms, but actually the farms are even now. Oh, are these ferrets going to get picked off? That's pretty significant, if they are. No, the ferrets get saved. Now, pigeons keeping the units alive is going to be really important, because what eel wants to do with these mice is just use his free units to get free value. But as long as the units stay alive, that won't happen. At the moment, Anzu has enough of an army lead that he can just take it, but his base is fully fallowed out. Eel is still mining a couple of these farms, so despite losing a farm, Eel is actually ahead on economy. And oh, this is sneaky from Eel, trying to get his snake up to hit a mill, or the ferrets, or them hit something while the mice are working as a distraction. But doesn't end up working, he can't get close enough. Now, Eel's going a bit harder on farms, but economy's even at the moment. Oh, and it looks like Eel's going for a full commitment. The turret goes down, but there's a lot of skunk gas, and there's a lot of squirrels. The owl nearly goes down, and now, oh, one of the tier 2 units gets picked off for Eel. One of the snakes are gone. I don't think snakes are a great choice here. There's not much they can do against a mass squirrel. They are good against the snakes and alright against the ferrets, but... Ooh, this is looking bad for Eel, actually, now that his warrens are getting poked down. I don't think Anzu can quite push in, but he is staying ahead in army. These pigeons doing so much work, these squirrels doing so much work. The mice aren't able to build up to a large enough number to actually get anything done. They're just dying as quickly as they come out. And Eel doesn't have time to hold back with his army and let his mice build up because Anzu keeps poking in with his ferrets. These ferrets are actually countering the owl fairly well in a roundabout way. They're forcing engagements that mean the mice are never able to actually build up. Now, Eel has finally got a moment to build up some mice numbers, but he is starting to fall a bit behind in economy. He's floating a lot of food at the moment. Is he going to go I think he wants to go for a second owl. And I can see that being an alright decision. But the snake goes down. I think he should sell the snakes. Oh, and Anzu's just coming in now. Mass tier 1. A lot of squirrels are dying. And this balloon is still alive. It finally goes down, but there's only a few squirrels left for Anzu. And the longer this fight goes on, the more value this owl will get. But Eel tries to chase Anzu, and I think that was a bad decision. He really needs to sell. He sells squirrels instead. Not the worst decision, but since Anzu has sold his skunks, it's actually going to be quite bad for him. I think Eel really needs to sell these snakes. I don't think these snakes are doing as much as he wants. Yeah, Eel should sell snakes. I agree with you. I agree with you, Jen. Okay, Eel coming in from the side. He's got a skunk picked off, unfortunately, but he is taking this fight away from all the ferrets. Maybe he can get something done. There was one skunk able to get a lot of gas down, and he does clear out most of the squirrels. Okay, with the squirrels gone, maybe Eel can buy some time, get us some mice warrens, get some mice coming out. He is taking out warrens, but that's not really enough, and now he's trapped. He's trapped on the wrong side, so his reinforcements are just going to be dying. Oh, Eel might have just screwed himself here. Anzu has enough economy to keep this up, and the owl goes down, and that was the only thing keeping Eel in this game. I don't know what Eel's plan is here. He's not surrendering, but he probably should. And on boss 3, Eel loses his first life to the wolf, to Anzu. Now, let's see, remind myself, it was Moose who predicted that Anzu would... Moose and Gabony predicted that... Oh no, sorry, that's the wrong person. It was Moose and Srownal who Moose, Srownal and Eris who predicted that Anzu would be the one to beat Eel. So at the moment they're on point. Now I think that was a winnable game for Eel. He wasn't so far behind that a comeback was out of the realm of possibility, especially with an owl. He was slowly clawing his way back, but he went in for when he went in for the warrens and got his army trapped, he's just completely unable to recover. Okay, so seeing a bit of an army change. Eel going for squirrel, lizard, falcon, chameleon, wolf, mine. That's a pretty significant mix-up. I think virtually every unit's changed for Eel. Anzu, no ferrets, going for falcons instead, and going for a wolf. I don't remember if he had a wolf last game. Oh, and Jet's here, requesting his oatmeal songs. I don't know if you've been here for a while, Jet, but well done on the Pingu Pile prediction. Yeah, I've got my oatmeal senses were tingling, Jet. Holy shit, Spider-Lord, thank you for the follow. Holy shit, I've got like... That's like 7 follows for one stream. Holy shit. Cheers, guys. Alright. So, I haven't been talking much about the actual game going on. I'm still thinking about last game. This is a very sparse map. Both players do have an easy meal, but looking at third bases, Eel's definitely got the easier end of the stick with this space rather than having to go out for this, which is Anzu's choice. Looks like it won't get that far though, because Anzu wants to come in right now. He does have a higher army, but he needs to get it gathered. Oh no, this is Eel's chameleon, not an Anzu chameleon. Alright, he needs to focus the squirrels and lizards, keep his falcons alive. Ignore the chameleons, ignore the chameleons. Focus the tier 1. Oh, he doesn't. I would have focused on the tier 1 and trusted my falcons to take, so my falcons would be protected. It might have been a little hard to do. Anzu started focusing the chameleons, and I think that's not what you want to do, given how much health they have. But who knows? Maybe I'm in the wrong. Anzu did actually beat me in the boss tournament, unfortunately. I went forward with my badger and it just got deleted. It was kind of a big throw. I was very upset. To the Moon is a good game. Not the type of game I thought Jet would like, but it's pretty interesting. Got a good soundtrack as well. Okay, so both players are pretty even economies. Eel is a bit ahead on army. No one's gone for a tier 3 yet. Eel wants to do some chameleon shenanigans. But I don't think he'll have the time or the space. Anzu's looking pretty paranoid now that he's behind. Okay, Eel going up to 4 chameleons and 4 falcons. That's going to be a very solid tier 2 line. If he gets a wolf buffing those up as well, I mean, even without the wolf, that's a scary bunch of units. That's a lot of damage and a lot of health. Anzu's much lower on tier 2, but has got more tier 1. And he's got pigeons, which aren't insignificant, to keep his own tier 2 alive. Okay, but Eel's the first one to go for the wolf. Anzu's going for more economy. And Anzu is actually ahead in the army at the moment, or, well, it was, for a short while. Now let's see, is Anzu going to scout this wolf? He hasn't. Looks like he's running back here. I imagine he wants to put a wolf down himself. But I think he should be selling a tier 1 warren, so he could get the wolf out quicker, I think. Holy shit, more. Ella Loco and Law Friendly, thank you for the follows. Holy shit, guys, this is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's it, friendship. It wasn't anything to do with me attacking up high ground into warrens. It was all to do with the friendship. Passing me. Oh, you're Shadow Fraud. Okay, Law, I didn't know that was you. I know I've heard the name Law Friendly like a few times, but I've never seen the Shadow 31 stuff. So when I saw him on the tournament, I thought, oh, is this some new guy? Okay, wolf-wise, Eel's wolf is already built, Anzu's already building. Anzu did scout the wolf out at some point, so did Eel. So both players have pretty much full info. Eel's going for 2 extra bases. I think this base is more just security against a base trade than it is anything else. Started a year ago. Oh, cool. That's not too young. All right, Anzu's having to fight this before his wolf is ready. He does have defender's advantage, and he's got a few turrets, but his army's going down. Oh, but the wolf is nearly dead for Eel. The wolf is dead for Eel. Okay, Anzu does have a wolf. Anzu has his tier 3 out, but there is still quite a bit of army left for Eel. But no, Eel retreats. Eel retreats, and he's going to have to sell. He's behind on economy. But now the problem becomes that was a really good hold by Anzu there, and it looks like now he wants to get some counter damage done, which I think is the right call. Oh, if he goes in now, Eel isn't there to micro his army. It could be a big problem for Eel. Oh, Eel just gets back in time. But I think Eel might lose this anyway. The skunk gas going down is killing a lot of these lizards, but these chameleons get onto these squirrels, and now it's just Falcon v Falcon. But one Falcon has a wolf shouting at it, which means it's better. Anzu might be overextending, but he wants to get this mill. Okay, but this is a dummy mill. Anzu has no idea about this mill down in the corner. But he does pick off a farm, and he isn't moving back. I think it might be better off moving back. I don't want him to throw here, but I'm not sure who to root for here. I don't want Eel to lose, but I don't want him to win either. So Eel did manage to get up a second wolf, but he's so far behind an army, and Anzu is right on top of Eel right now. And now Anzu throws his wolf away. Oh, I thought Anzu had it there, but he micros his wolf all the way forwards. Maybe just trying to tank with it, but stayed in for too long. The wolf can go down pretty quickly, but he's going to go back. He's going to sell his wolf. I think that's the right call. He's only on 4 farms. Better just get up as much quantity as you can, because wolf makes high quality armies, but it can be overcome by sheer quantity. Now, okay, I was going to check on what Enzo has scouted, but the fight still isn't stopping, and the Falcons kill the wolf again, but these chameleons and these squirrels pick off the Falcons and what's left of Anzu's army. Okay, this is getting real close. Now Eel sells his wolf. I think Eel is in the lead. Yeah, he's got this base. He's got a few farms on it. Anzu hasn't scouted it, but he looks like he's figuring it out now. Or maybe he just wants to try and expand himself. But his army isn't all together. He's going to be in a rough spot if he engages here. Eel has fully moved over. Honestly, looking at the map the way it is, Anzu should just go take this mill, which would be fucking hilarious because both players would like swap sides, but I think that's the way he should go. And it is the way he's going. Now, is his army going to get picked off? Or are we just going to go for a base trade? Because this was... Oh! Eel manages to get the base before Anzu's other base was finished building. Oh, lizards, good at the base trades. They move so quickly. But that was a good effort by Anzu. That was a really close game. That was really fun to watch. But well done, Eel. Taking the win. Eel proving that he deserves the developer title. You know, if a developer's bad at the games, it fills you with a little bit of unease. But Eel, he's only lost 1 life in the first 3. That's not enough to get him to the end. But at this rate, he'll go down at like Duel 9. But let's see how he goes. Up against Pedro now. Now, does anyone, before I click it, has anyone predicted Pedro takes him out? No. Nobody believes in Pedro. Did Jet get... Oh, hang on. I'm looking at the fucking sheet, and apparently Jet got spoiled. Is that something that really happened? Or are we just doing it because Jet's a dick? Oh, Jet, you dirty, dirty bastard. Alright. Eel versus Leowl, also known as Pedro Owl. And Eel focusing his deck around an owl. Rather, you know, predictably. Squirrel, pigeon, skunk, chameleon, badger, wolf. Against squirrel, pigeon, falcon, skunk, owl, machine gun turret. Owl, you know, if you're named after a unit, you're gonna have people expect you to take that unit, so you should really probably plan around that. But Owl doesn't really have any decent counters to the Badger. I mean, he's got the Falcons, and Mass Falcon can beat a Badger, but it can also not beat a Badger. And especially Wolf Badger, that's gonna be really tough for Owl to beat, especially with his namesake. Who is Owl? Pedro Owl, a really, really old school player. He's been gone for a long time, but has come back. Oh, aka Hibou. Eel has 2 lives, yep. Anzi was only able to take 1, but that's pretty good. He's taken 33% of Eel's life. Well, I guess 25% because Eel gets another life in the underworld, so 25% has gone from Eel. Oh, and Pedro's moving in. He's got a higher army, but there's a defender's advantage for Eel, and the chameleon coming out should be able to clear this up pretty nicely. That was a failed attack. I wasn't really looking for it. I didn't expect... I think that an attack was a really bad decision on this map. You look at the distance in this, like this rush distance. I feel like that was a really bad decision. And now I'm actually looking at the map. This is way in Eel's favour. If you've got an owl build, you really want to have a lot, you really want a lot of mills. You always want a lot of mills on your side, but it's especially good for owl because owls require large economies. Eel though is the one with 1, 2, 3 expansions on his side, so he's going to have a much easier time pumping out his tier 3 army, and his tier 3 hard counters owls. Owl is going to have to not let this go to a tier 3 battle because he will lose. There's no way you can out owl a Wolf Badger. Alright, so decent army coming up from a larger number of falcons coming up from the owl, and that might be his best bet, just a mass falcon. Oh, but I didn't notice this. Chameleon's coming in from the side, picking off multiple farms. Nearly gets a third. They got one that was building, they got one that was built. They nearly get a third. And that's something that Owl is going to have to watch out for. Maybe it'd be worth just putting a machine gun down somewhere near here, like on this side or this side, just so that doesn't happen. But that's really going to delay the Owl, because Owl was kind of trying to get ahead of an economy, but now Eel has time to put down his tier 3. Owl's been slowed down enough that he's confident Owl won't attack. And he's also getting up to a full saturated second base and taking a third. This is looking really good for Eel. And now tier 3s are down for both players, but the tier 3 for Eel is so much better than the tier 3 for Owl. And Eel sells his wolf when he gets scouted. I don't think that was the right call. I don't think, well, okay, I understand the call. It's a sort of safety thing, gets more tier 1, means that Owl isn't going to be able to push in very easily, but I don't think it was really necessary. Now, Owl is scouting out the map, looking for perhaps another gristmill, perhaps another way to sneak into Eel's base. But he doesn't find anything. I think he'd probably be better off selling this Owl. He knows that he's up against a Badger, and Owl is basically a detriment against Badger. I think he... And he's floating so much food. He's going for a second Owl. That's insane. It takes something like... You need something like 6 Owls to overwhelm one Badger. It is crazy. Okay, so Badger's already built, and it's already on the front line. Eel's moving his chameleons up front. He needs to do something about this Badger. Eel, the Owl is out, but all the Falcons are going down. And the Owl instantly dies, very predictably. But if he can get this tier 3, oh, it gets away on 1 HP. If he can catch up to it, but I don't think it can. It's on the road. It's got with other army. It's got with other units now. Oh, Eel nearly fucked this up. The Badger is pretty fragile, and the Badger goes down. The Pigeons were too busy healing all these valuable squirrel units to heal the tier 3. But I don't think it matters at this point. Eel is ahead in economy. He's got more army coming out. But what does matter is that Eel has lost his Owl counter, as a second Owl is coming up for Pedro. Now he sells down some army, sells down some tier 2, and Eel is able to rebuild his Badger. But it's going to be some... I think Owl needs to sell one of his Owl Warrens, or at least the Falcons, or something. He's so supply blocked. He needs to be selling, but he's not. He refuses. And he needs to get something done before this Badger comes out. The thing is, he needs to be patient. He needs to do this right the first time, which means waiting and giving himself time to build up the required number of mice to actually come in and do some damage. Alright, well, Owl has managed to build all his Falcons back. He might get his second Owl building. The mice come in. Do they get anything done? They don't. They nearly get one of the chameleons, but they don't actually kill anything. And now Eel's going for a wolf. Eel has not only secured a third base and got it nearly fully saturated, he's even secured his fourth base, which he can start farming on whenever he wants. And all of those mice managed to get one squirrel for Pedro, simply because of the sheer amount of pigeons. And Owl finally... Owl chooses now to sell his Owl Warren, when it looked like he was actually going to be able to build it, which is an interesting choice. He's bringing his Owl too far forward. It's going to get run down so fast by the Badger, and indeed it does. I think he's trying to use it just to tank. Or maybe he's like so old that he thinks owls still drop a bunch of mice when they die. But this is looking really bad for Pedro. It's been looking bad for Pedro for a while now, and now the wolf is out. This has got to be GG. I'll be honest, I think that was pretty poor owl micro from Pedro. But he really shouldn't have gone for the owl in the first place. Once he saw the badger, he should have sold the owl and just got as many falcons as he could. So, Eel keeps going. Can Eel be stopped? So far, Anzu's the only one to take a game off him. Let's see how Gabony does. And I think some people actually do predict Gabony to win here. We got one person. We've got Dr. Niezmiali Platek, who I think goes by Cyril or something on the Discord. Also, notably, the Camelbot predicts that Gabony should win. And this should be where Eel ends. So, let's see. Gabony, first time he's played since 2018. It has been a while, which I think is gonna, which I think gives Eel a pretty significant advantage. I don't know how much Gabony's been practicing for this. Alright, now what are we looking at? Eel's been changing up his deck a lot, which I approve of. He's gone Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Chameleon, Wolf, Mine. He's up against Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk, Boar. Not Boar, Badger, Machine Gun Turret. Now, I think the Badger won't be too good for Gabony. If Eel can get Wolf, Falcon out, or just enough Lizards, or some Mines, Eel has quite a few Badger counters in his deck. And for Gabony's perspective, the Badger really doesn't counter too much. He's going to be looking for, I think, mostly go for tier 2s, I think. I mean, I think he needs a Badger, really. I don't think he can do it just with Falcons and Skunks. Especially not on this base. He is going to secure this second base, it looks like, but it's pretty far away. And it's not too safe. It's not as safe as this backwards base that Eel's got. Hey, Premium. Fury OST again. Who requested this? Lieutenant Weasel. Oh, and then we got fucking Jet coming in with his fucking oatmeal. That happened sooner or later, didn't it? Oh, Eel is trying to move his chameleons down. In fact, he could just... Gabony isn't watching this back route, so he could just move his lizards in and pick off a whole load of farms. Gabony isn't responding to this. In fact, he was actually moving his army away. Oh, but he does get both chameleons, actually. Eel was too slow to rally them back. And that gives Eel... That kind of gives Gabony time to move in, but he walks directly into mines. He does only lose one squirrel though, so it's actually not too big a problem. Okay, but Squirrel Lizard usually beats Squirrel and Skunk, and now the chameleons are back out. Gabony's getting trashed in this fight. Gabony's running all the way back to his warrens. Is it going to be enough? Eel might have enough damage to just push through, but he doesn't. The reinforcements come up for Gabeney, and Eel decides to retreat. But since Eel is ahead in economy, somehow... Oh yeah, because Gabeney lost these 2 farms. Doy. So Eel is definitely ahead now. And Eel, I think he's doing the right thing by just getting more lizards. Nothing in... Gabeney doesn't have a good answer to lizards in his deck. The best answer is probably the badger, but that's not great. Eel's dev, so of course he's good. Well, I think it's more he's good, so he's a dev. It'd be... I don't know if, how good are the devs at this game? Like, is Andy actually good at this game? I know he did, like, walkthroughs for the, I think it was him who did walkthroughs on the Pocket Watch Games YouTube channel for the campaign. Back when they were super difficult. So he's got to be reasonable, but I don't think they practice it as much as we do. As much as some of us do. Reasonably good. Okay. That makes sense. Wait, is Master actually a dev? I thought he was just some guy who spent a lot of time on the Discord. Oh, fuck. There's a fight going on. And the lizards just overrunning Gabeney's entire army. The skunks go down, the falcons go down, all the squirrels go down. The chameleons stay alive. This is awful for Gabeney, especially because that tier 3's coming out, and he just surrenders. Alright. Dev Eel goes all the way to round 5, only losing 1 life. And you know what that means? That means he's up against boss 6. A ferocious guy named Big Pimpintosh. He'll have to message me to organise his game soon. Because Kirby is very cute. Kirby inherits his enemies and make it late. See, I don't know if you hate this song more than me. I don't know whether I should keep it on or not. No, I shouldn't. Alright, so I believe that's all the games for now. I wasn't expecting that to go the way it did. I wasn't expecting Pingu to take quite as many names. Pyle and Ziggy out. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. Watch the second stream, the Delphius stream on Tuesday at some time. But for now, I guess I'm just going to go play TF2, like I promised I would. But yeah, that was a great upset from Pingu, taking out Pyle. I mean, feel free to stick around, but that's all the games I've got. That's all the games I've got. We'd have more if Pingu hadn't been such a monster. So, Eel, hit me up sometime. We'll get our game going. Yeah, Pingu actually did shorten this stream by like a decent, at least 15 minutes. Ah. I'll change my game. That's a good idea. But I can't because this game is fucking shit. It loads weird. It doesn't like me tabbing out. Oh, I never changed the source, did I? Good thing I didn't have any porn up. So yeah, the notable three haven't predicted too well. In fact, they haven't predicted anything right. Which, from Gentlemen, you'd expect. But, you know, there's still time. Gentleman predicting that I'll be Eel, and Gabeney's predicting that Jet will be Eel. So they could still get some points there. In fact, a lot of people, I'd say the majority of people are betting for Eel to lose to either me or Jet. So yeah, that's gonna happen. And there's a decent chance, I think I put that down as well. I think Jet especially, I think it's likely I'll take at least one game off him. And then I think it's likely Jet will get at least one game off him. But I do have to say, Eel impressed me. Not quite as much as Pingu, but he did impress me with his level of play today. What was the link to the playlist? It's just like exclamation point songs list, I think. Ugh. Speaking of out of practice. Yeah, see you around, gent. Thanks for organising this whole thing. It's been fun. Well, I say it is fun. It's not over yet. Not by a long shot. We've still got several more challenges and quite a few more bosses. But yeah, thank you everybody for stopping by. Send some thanks to the Pickpocket, aka Gentleman, who set up this entire thing. Episode 2 will be in 2 days, Tuesday, 7 PM, with Delphius, who streams on Tooth and Tail TV. I'm sure you all know him. Okay, let's go combat energy. Let's go shoot some people. Oh, or get our heads cut off. That works too. If it was Hanamura, then there'd be more Genji. Okay, I don't think I'm good enough at combat NG to play combat NG. But I just want some basic shotgun practice. You know what, let's just go fucking scout. If we're going to practice shotgun, let's practice shotgun. Oh, everything fucking exploded, including my PC. I'm moving too fast, I can't see what the fuck I'm shooting at. Yep, those were both me. I did that. Wow, that was... So, speaking of out of practice, I haven't played this in a while. Is the stream actually laggy? Like, the game is a little bit buffery. It stutters a bit. But it usually smooths itself out. Is it good now? Okay. That was accidentally quite good. Can't fit through there. Ah! So I'm not very good at Scout. I'm not very good at this game. When I'm out of tab, it's completely paused. Oh, okay. I'll try and tab out as little as possible then. Although we are going to need more songs queued up. We're on our last two. Oh, that's a lot of demo man. More demo men than I'd like to be fighting. Man, that would have been great if those shots had connected. Three deaths, no kills. This is a typical TF2 stream. Finally, I killed someone. That was a pretty good pipe. Well done. What's he shooting at? Jesus Christ. I just ran into that rocket, dick first. Maybe I should go pyro, try and get some reflex or something. You've got to be a spy. Nope. Just a sniper. I'm telling you, man, snipers are fucking different species. Where the fuck did that pyro even come from? Like I was shooting a pyro and then suddenly there was a pyro behind me. Oh god, this isn't fucking working. I'm gonna play something easier. Something that doesn't require as much aim. Oh shit, the heavy's still here. This is bad, even by my standards. Don't worry, I'm well aware of how shit this is. I promise it will get better. I might not keep that promise, but I'm gonna promise it. Which kind of defeats the purpose of a promise. Where is everyone? I think everyone's on the other side of the fucking map. Hello, NG. Oh, nearly. Speaking of nearly, I nearly didn't get killed by that. Oh, yes. Pyro Shark, I'm the Pyro Shark. Damn. I could have fought one of those, I think. Both was a little tricky. How are you still alive? God, I love this weapon. It does so much damage.
I got the point, boys.
Let's run. I think we run away. Damn it. Oh, we got him. Is this medic really pocketing me? I feel like there's got to be better people to crit screen. Like, yeah, the soldier. Heard a spy. Well, at least the pyro's going better. Jesus Christ. I heard the heavy scream. I turned around. Ah, oh, fucking pole got in the way. Man, I would have felt very bad if that spy had actually got the kill on the demo man. What did I hit? I hit the dispenser. I don't have any ammo. I can't air blast anymore. Now I have ammo. There we go. Oh, nearly. Okay, let's go get some health.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
We've actually got a chance of winning this round. Okay, I held them off. I'm running away. I'm just spamming air blast at all these soldiers, and I'm getting lucky. Do reflecting black box rockets, does that give you health back? I don't know. It probably doesn't. God damn it, hit! How did you not hit any of those fucking swings? How did all of those miss? There were like 7 people there.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Hey, there goes my health. Ouch. Get on the point! Get on the point! Oh, I hate it when people do that. Oh well. GG. Nucleus. Right, I don't think I'm going to play too much of this game. My voice is getting pretty rough. I really need to sort out my fan. If you can hear like a rattling in the background, the music and the game should cover it up, but on the loading screens it's probably a bit more noticeable. It's all because there's a loose fan in my PC. I need to look at sorting it out. It's just a job that keeps getting pushed back. stick on the gunslinger and try this again. Jesus Christ, that fucking... Move. Stick that down. Ouch. Well, that worked pretty bad. Hey, Pam. No, you've not missed much. And I don't blame people for not wanting to watch this. It's not my strong suit. Yeah. We've gone down a bit. It's more than... I think it's like 30 people left. Steadily. But, you know, it's fair. I don't blame them. I probably would have tabbed out if it wasn't my fucking stream. I mean, this is a game that's past its peak popularity, and it's a game that I'm bad at, so... But I'm trying to get better. Damn it. But since I missed TF2 Thursday on Thursday, so I wanted to do a TF2 stream sometime in the week. It was going to be today when Dell was doing the stream anyway, but then Dell pulled out, so I had to take over the 21 Duels. So I'm just going to get a little bit done. Besides, I already got like a whole load of follows from the stream, so, you know, victory achieved. You know, net profit.
The control point is alert. The control point is being contested.
I should probably not be trying to do combat NG. It works when Uncle Dane does it because he's good at the game. But it looks really fun. So I want to do it. Oh fuck, I completely turn... Jesus Christ. I go down the stairs, turn the corner, think, oh, nobody's here. Turn right, and there's fucking like everybody on the entire team. 12 Duels now, almost 10. Almost 10 what? I got, yeah, I got 9 followers, actually. Hey Lucas. Feel free to jump in. I'm not going to be doing this for too long, but like for about an hour. Yes! I got a kill. Where's my health? What were you doing, Lucas? Were you like in a game of some sort, or did you have actual jobs to do? Like proper human responsibilities? Playing League. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh my god, so many fucking pyros! What does NB mean? Note bene. It means take note of this. Okay, well I've definitely changed the game and I've definitely hit update information, so it should be saying tier 2 now. Yeah, it basically means something like important notice or something. Jesus Christ! There's always a fucking pyro! Everywhere! There are so many pyros! I had a math teacher who always used to say it, whenever he saw NB, all he could think of was nibbling boobies. That's basically the end of the story. It's not really a wild ride. Oh shit! Whoops. I should probably build a dispenser. Fix that so it stops annoying me. The squirrel ant. I need to put your skins back on. It should only take like 5 minutes, less than. Really wish I'd built a sentry rather than a dispenser. No, that's a shame, Lucas. Can you play, can you get in the game at least? Full STC2 conversion mod. I don't know enough about StarCraft 2 to even begin with that, but I do know like a lot of units have like equivalents. I hear Owl and Broodmothers get mentioned a lot. Ouch. I'm betting this guy's going to carry the team. Tactical crouching is how you tell good heavies from bad. And is it Zerglings that are the toads, or are those lizards? What are the ones that explode? I'm putting a dispenser here just so I've got somewhere to go for help. Every time I put it further up, I just get destroyed. How did none of those hit him? They all fucking hit him. That's a lie. You lying to me, game. Don't lie. Banelings. That's it. Hey, you made it, Lucas. I should just build this here.
We have secured the control point. Alert. The control point is being captured.
Hey, I got someone. I got 2 people. There we go. Finally, my sentry gun's up for more than 2 seconds. Why does he say thank you, Doctor, when he's being... Well, I guess the engineer has PhDs. He is a doctor. Why can't I hit this? Why can't I hit this? That's so annoying. That's so fucking annoying. Like, it just wouldn't let me hit the fucking teleporter. I spent so long trying to figure that out that I just... Oh. You. Don't you try and jump stab me. Cunt.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
The 3 spies are getting work done. Don't knock them.
Alert. Our control point captured.
There. Level 2 will do for now, I think. Actually going to repair this so I can try and move it forward.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Should probably move my dispenser up. Gotta move that gear up.
Mission ends in 10 seconds.
Hey! Proper engineering there. I was annoyed. That was an annoying death. I am perfectly entitled to be annoyed about that fucking death. That was bullshit. I don't know high pass. Ugh. So Pancakes, we've been through this. You don't actually play much TF2, do you? You're on more to like the trading side of it, aren't you? I think I might just go back to being engineer. I was actually quite enjoying it. That sounds really sad when you put it like that, Pancakes. Could go sniper. Let's try sniping. Oh, damn it. I messed that up. By the way, can you hear my fan in the background? I don't know if you can. I think the music and the game noise probably covers it up. They're coming. Oh, I got the headshot as well. Oh. Nice camp. I saw you. I saw you coming from that direction.
Alert. The control point has been contested.
Damn it. Can't even kill Luminote. Computer exploded. Oh. Ouch. Feels bad, man. Computer problems are the worst. I had a whole bunch of computer problems on like a day when I was going to be casting a tournament. I forget which one it was. I think it might... Was it the 12 Duels? I think it might have been the boss tourney, actually. Oh shit, that's our heavy. The 12 Duels. 12, sorry. I still call it the 21.
We have captured the control point.
And I was like streaming my side of it, so you had like a front row. You had like Dell's casting and you had my like in the thick of things, first person's perspective. Made a good combo. Damn it. Yeah, it used to be 21 Duels, now it's just 12. But they took out all the like revival mechanics and stuff. You used to be able to get extra lives. God damn fucking spy, you stole my kill.
The control point has been contested.
I get so impatient as sniper, I just like fucking run at them with a kukri.
Our control point is being captured.
Why do we have so many snipers? Because it's TF2, of course we have so many snipers. Oh, fuck off, Pyro!
The control point has been captured.
Did I die before the demo man? I feel like I was pretty... I feel like the hit came out.
Mission ends in 6 minutes.
Oh, that was a terrible shot.
Alert. The control point has been contested.
Ah, he died to kill me. He just jumped off the fucking platform to make sure I died. Or maybe he was getting ire blasted and just happened to hit me. Either way, that's annoying. Okay, this isn't fucking working. You're not the spy? There's a spy. That's a heavy. How this? Who killed this? Oh, damn it. Well, that's what happens when you stand outside enemy spawn as a medic. He'll try for a stair stab. He's got an unusual hat. He'll stair stab. No? Where'd he go? There he is. Damn it. Had to go for it. I'm pocketing this heavy. Come on, get some melee kills. Go for it, go for it, go for it. I got more kills as medic than I did as sniper. Holy shit, this is a lot of heavies. This is how you play medic. You get up close and you blitzsorg them. That was not behind me, but whatever. Why does it hurt to breathe? Pildy. How's it going? Oh, that was actually a good shot. Go on. Nice to hear it, comrade. I need some people to kill. Oh, what? I fucking crater? Really? The fool fucking kills me?
character's not automatically.
Ah, so close. I don't think I haven't put out a single Uber this entire game.
Don't do something about it.
Fucking pyro.
Don't care.
Well, at least I can take solace in the knowledge that I would have died as any class at that point.
Yeah, I just came in the point.
Let's go get that sniper.
The pilot just came in the point. Yeah, very logical, you know.
Three on one, bit tough, but we got the sniper. So really, it's all worth it.
30 seconds.
Come on, no! Shoot them! Yes! Oh, no, please don't.
No, not you again.
Go cap this point.
No. Oh, God, I was right there. I was right there.
Go cap.
We have secured the control point.
Ah. I was right there.
Come on, 10 seconds. Overdrive, I knew it.
We should probably go cap the point or defend it. Nah, we got time.
I knew it. GG boys, GG.
GG. Right, we need to add some music. That fucking hurt, I'll be honest. Coming so close to that cabinet and falling right in front of it, dead. Man, it's really laggy. My computer is fucking shitting itself. Yeah, I'm just trying to add a couple of songs on, but it's difficult because internet's having problems. The computer struggles to do anything and load TF2 at the same time. I'm not sure why exactly. Let's try sniper again. See if we can get more than one kill. Oh, I was waiting to get this. I was lining up my shot for him. Whatever. That's embarrassing.
Alert. The control point is being captured. Alert. The control point is being contested.
Shot his knee, but he still runs away.
We have captured the control point. Alert. The control point is being contested.
Okay, that's not a dead ringer.
Control point. Alert. The control point is being captured.
He wasn't expecting me to hear. But fool me once, shame on me. Well, no, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Control point.
Oh! That was a nice shot. Wasn't expecting that. Can we get the game? I tabbed out and now I want to tab back in.
We have secured the control point. Alert.
My mouse isn't working.
Point is being captured. Alert. The control point is being contested.
Okay, so it's registering clicks. I guess this is what we're doing then.
We have lost the control point.
Can't move up or down, left or right. I can only strafe. hell is this? There we go. Tab back in again.
All your heads look bloody 12 feet tall.
We have captured the control point. Alert. Control point captured.
That's definitely a dead ringer. Ah! I got shanked. Oh, is he gonna get away? Oh god, finally someone killed him. What's my secondary? Durati. I could have used that.
Mission ends in 60 seconds. Mission ends in 30 seconds.
There we go. Oh, my mouse isn't working again.
We have captured the control point. Alert. The control point is being captured. Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Ah, I was lining up for the heavy. Pike Man is doing a lot better than me. He's doing a lot better than everyone.
We have lost the control point. Mission ends in 10 seconds.
Oh fuck it, I could have walked there and back by now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overtime. You failed.
Did I get a kill? I got 3 kills. That's more than I thought. And no headshots. It's not GG yet. Oh, are you gone? Ah, fair enough. I'm not only going to go, like, maybe one more match after this. In fact, I might just call it quits. Since everyone's gone anyway. And I'm clearly not on top form. But I can't hit a fucking standing still heavy.
Alert. The control point is being tested.
God damn it. Lag has its effect here. Fair enough. Need some better internet, man. You were lagging a bit in the 2v2 tournament yesterday as well.
We have lost the control point.
That spy's coming for me. He's marked me as easy prey. That was a stupid idea. Yeah, I did have fun with the 2v2. It was a great little story that I kept getting Gent as my partner. Bit disappointed by the ending.
Alert. Our control point.
But I watched it back, and it really did come down to me just mismicroing a few times, letting my commander die and stuff. Like we would have won the last game where we mole rushed you if it wasn't for if I hadn't let my commander die. And I think we might have been able to win the Badger Wolf game, except I mismicroed and got my wolf killed. I sent it on the right of the rock rather than on the left, which was through the water, got it completely out of position. It was a small thing. And the logic was that it was the shortest distance, but my army was like the support army. So I didn't need to be like getting there as quickly as possible. I needed to be getting there as safely as possible. So I think it was ultimately my fault we lost. I was drinking because I didn't think we'd actually get to the end. So I didn't think I'd have to play very well. But yeah, I think it did cause a few slip-ups. But yeah, I think it really was my fault we lost in the end. They weren't huge mistakes, but I was just, you know, they were big enough. You know, fine margins matter in a game that tight. Yes. Because it was you and Arbus who won, wasn't it? Yeah, it would have been fun if we'd actually got to play together, but you know, it would have ruined the story. The Gent VP partnership. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I still haven't actually won a tourney. I've been here for ages and I haven't won, so well done. That's definitely a spy. I don't know who you think you're fooling. Well, you were presumably actually with more than one player, so you would get that. I was playing, the only person who wasn't Gent, I played with Arbors once, and I played against Gent. Oh, people are predicting you'll go really far in the duels. Gentleman has you predicting to win it. I think I had you down as... I think you'll lose one game and you'll win the Underworld and you'll come back in. Yeah, don't tell me. Spoilers and all. We need to know. I don't want to be told if you fall prey to the Pingu curse.
Competition begins in 30. Prepare to compete in 10 seconds.
Boss 3. I think you'll beat Anzu.
3, 2, 1.
Anzu basically, Parzival should be above Anzu. Anzu had his rank inflated a bit by the fact that I completely threw a game away. Like, I'm not trying to be insulting there, but I think I really did it come down to my mistake and just getting overconfident against him.
5, 4, 3,
You should beat Anzu.
1. Control point enabled. Move.
Oh, fuck off. Few of the bosses you've never seen. I don't think you'll have ever played against Gabeney. But Gabeney, I don't think Gabeney's too much of a threat because he's so out of practice.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Damn it. You've played against Mishi, I'm sure. You've played against Chip, right? At least once. Well, I got the shot. Gabeney was pretty strong. He was sort of like me, where he's like, he can beat the top players, but he's not like so consistent about it to be a top player. That's sort of the category I put myself into. Where I've proven multiple times I can beat the best in the game. It's just I can't do it often enough to be the best in the game. Gabeney at his peak was like sort of around where I was, I think. Maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. Quick tip for beating the bosses. Don't lose. Depends on the boss. Pingu, I can't tell you how to beat Pingu. He's too strong. You've just got to sort of pray. Parzival and Anzu you should be able to beat by playing normally but doing it better than them. Against Pedro, take an owl, and that's basically the game won. Sorry, take a badger, and you've basically won the game. Who's after Pedro? It's Gabeney then. Gabeney's out of practice, so don't be out of practice.
control point is being captured.
And then I won't give you tips on how to beat me. How to beat Jet. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not sure how I beat him. I don't know, like fucking just get a wolf. Jet likes to be greedy, so be slightly greedier. Jet, I thought would actually be a lot higher. I expect it goes me, Jet, Cold, Weasel, and I gotta be honest. If I was predicting it, I would have predicted it to go like Cold, Weasel, me, Jet. So I don't know if it was just a fluke or what, or if they're actually a lot better than I give them credit for. Well, not a lot better, just a bit better. I do think they're pretty good. I just thought I would beat them. I did beat Cold. I mean, Jet likes to go multiple tier 3s. So just plan around that, I suppose. Strownel is like all chameleons. Figure out an answer to chameleons and you'll have him. He's chameleon and tier 1. Strownel goes like 3 tier 1 and then chameleons. I think something like chameleon skunk or chameleon snake. I think you probably don't want to go lizards. Possibly take toads. Which I know, you know, they're not good, but they might actually be okay against him.
Nice shots, boy.
It does feel like that, but like, the best answer to cams is just to have more cams. I guess with defensive structures you could maybe like hold him back and then get out a badger or something. Cams are pretty strong this patch. I don't know if we'll figure out a counter to them eventually, or if they literally are just kind of overpowered. I think they maybe could do with like a bit of a health nerf, not a health nerf, a damage nerf. Like take them from 8 DPS to 6 or something. Doesn't have to be huge. Honestly, Mass Tier 1, Mass Squirrel seem to do alright against low numbers of chameleons. Once you get enough to, there's like a threshold where you can destroy like a chameleon in one volley.
The control point is being contested. Alert. The control point is being captured. We have lost control point. Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Damn it. Hmm.
30 seconds.
I mean, I think with 6 they could still be assassins.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Like 6 isn't insignificant. 6 is still decent damage.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Damn it. How did that not hit? Ah!
Mission ends.
Oh, no, it's fine, Lucas. I'm about to stop anyway.
We have secured the control point.
Yeah, the chameleons were really bad, like, before. Like, they need to be tanky.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Like, they never got to use their damage.
Alert. The control point is being captured. Mission ends in 30 seconds. We have lost control. 4, 3, 2, 1. You failed.
Okay, well, that's it, then. Hasn't gone great today. But see you tomorrow, everybody, for the Pocketbot Cup. We're playing Tooth and Tail. So, if you were looking forward to TF2, come around on Thursdays for that. This was just a little something because I missed it. Of course I'll be for tomorrow. When was the last time I missed a Pocketbot Cup? Have I ever missed one? Yeah, I started a little earlier than I usually do, so I'm going to end a little earlier than I usually do. You have a good night, everybody, or afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. You have a good one. Toodles!